Do you actually have to be on cocaine to be on this podcast?
It's a great day to be a Wildcat!
Surfing.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to yet another edition of Cocaine Willie. I am your commissioner, Bob Trollsby, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, the good chef, Andre Napier, and Fireball Matt Marchesini. Tonight, we're going to go through Fireball Matt's Burn It Down moment from Week 4. We've got our locks standing so far and locks for Week 5. And since we're in a bye week, Chef is not giving us his recipe for success because we're saving that for next week. But we do have a new segment called No Dumb Questions that we definitely stole from the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelsey. And we're going to answer some listener questions in that No Dumb Questions segment. But Fireball Matt, I mean, this matchup against UCF, we haven't had a chance to talk about the game together. I want to hear a burn it down moment, but I want to hear a positive from you as well.
Wow, that's actually not on brand. I need to go positive. Wow. All right, big positive. Will Howard threw another 250-yard game this season. He's the first K-State quarterback to have 250 yards in his first 4 games of the season. That's a positive for all of the shit some people might be giving Will Howard. He had, I think, a very good game. Now, DJ Giddens had a better game. But that's the end of the pessimistic. You got to be. My burn it down moment of the week. There are a few burn it down moments, but they all have the same theme. Why are we giving up first downs and touchdowns when it's 3rd and 19, 3rd and 21? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Look like shit. Like a screen pass? Like, what is this? Pop Warner football? I mean, come on. Can't do it. I was definitely pulling out my hair during those moments of the week.
What
was Unite.
You're banned. You're banned from the show. You can't do that.
That was a terrible dad joke. But what was I want to hear what was the collective groan on that 3rd and 21 when they run a simple draw and they pick it up? I mean, the game was like tied, wasn't it?
I don't know if I groaned, but I did this. What are we doing? This isn't what's his fuck, the defensive coordinator. What was his name before Hazelton? We always hated him because he did 12-yard.
Before Hazelton?
Yeah. Who was Bill's last defensive coordinator? Nobody remembers. Oh, my God.
I don't remember what.
12-yard cushions for days.
He was obviously a very memorable individual.
Oh, my God. We're going to be like.
Ryan Norwood?
No, he was not the defensive coordinator.
He was the safeties coach.
He was co-defensive coordinator with Blake Seiler.
Blake.
We had
What's he doing now?
coordinators and co-offensive coordinators that year with Andre Coleman and Colin Klein.
That's crazy.
In name only, really. It was Blake Seiler and Andre Coleman, but
yeah.
Blake Seiler. And everybody wanted him to be the defensive coordinator at one point. And then he went to Old Dominion.
No, he went to West Virginia first.
West Virginia first.
Looking pretty good.
Then Old Dominion.
Yes. They upset Virginia Tech and Virginia, right?
He went from defensive coordinator at K-State to be a linebackers coach at West Virginia.
I mean, maybe
His
things just weren't.
family there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That was the line.
Country roads take me home.
The one, you know what? I like Joe Klanderman a lot compared to like what we've dealt with in the past. I think he's a really great defensive coordinator. But man, this was a game that first quarter or first half. I was just like, this is going to not be fun.
We knew that they had athletes and we knew that they came in. I mean, they're not Alabama star-studded, but they had stars and transfers from Alabama, and they had talent on the outside and at running back and skill positions. They were just so fast. Like, it was insane. And they ran the wonkiest plays. And I'm sure we'll get to, trick plays and shit like that. But god damn, man, they threw everything out at us. And they really, I mean, I don't think we're gonna, other than KU, I don't think we're gonna see any other team test what the coaches say, test the eyes of these DBs and linebackers more than anybody, more than UCF and KU probably.
You think UCF and KU more so than Texas?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Texas is a modern day like pro style offense where they're like in a shotgun. It's more drop back out of the shotgun, throw a post, throw a hitch, get it to the playmakers like that. KU and UCF, they're running veers, they're running all kinds of weird shit. I don't think we're going to see anybody like that until we get to the KU game.
Interesting. So for those of you who are listening, we did just record an episode with Ari Temkin that published earlier this week. But I'm curious, the two of you, what are your thoughts so far on the state of the Big 12? Just looking at it holistically, who surprised you? Who do you think sucks? I just kind of want to have a quick conversation about that too.
Oklahoma State
sucks.
Baylor sucks.
Baylor.
It's all about the. Really, is it about the injuries? Like, who's dealing with their injuries the best? Because UCF seems solid and they're dealing with a backup quarterback. I mean, Oklahoma State never really had a quarterback, so I guess they're not excused from this. And Baylor, Blake Shapen's coming back this week, which I mean is kind of a big deal for Baylor. But
is he really even that good though?
No, but it's better than whatever they got behind him.
I think, but he's like proven. He's proven in games.
Yes,
that he has the talent. Like
sure.
So I think he's a big return. But they're just kind of a shit show everywhere else.
I was going to say, I don't think him rejoining the team post injury is going to be the difference maker that
I think he'll win. I think he'll make. I think he's a 2-game difference.
Sure. I mean, in a 9-game conference schedule.
How many games do you think the difference would be if Spencer Sanders stayed at Oklahoma State?
Ooh, that's a very good fucking question.
Because
that's a great question.
I think it's pretty evident that he is a big loss.
And he's not even starting for Ole Miss.
And he's not even starting for Ole Miss right now.
He's like barely third string.
On both sides, like for Spencer Sanders, that's kind of idiotic what you did. But if you're Oklahoma State, if you had the ability to trade for a quarterback right now, if this is the NFL, you're trading a 7th-round pick for Spencer Sanders and starting him in this next week.
Like, so we're trading KT Lev for a kicker, right?
Oh my God. That trade would have went down as one of the worst ever.
No,
we're not.
That's a throwback to last season, baby.
That was crazy. That was a crazy segment. But the teams that overperformed, West Virginia, shocking the hell out of me. They are shocking the hell out of me.
Which in some ways, yeah, it's a surprise. But at the same time, they have some of the same strengths that K-State has coming into this season, where you've got probably the most mature, most games started offensive line, maybe an FBS between K-State and West Virginia. Like, those are two incredibly good offensive lines. Granted, the K-State Beef have had some issues through a couple games, but they cleaned a lot of that stuff up last game, it seemed like. Well, West Virginia has surprised me a lot.
Yeah, I'll say this about them because their quarterback went down, and so we'll see how they respond to the quarterback injury. I mean, it seems like half the teams in the Big 12 have lost their starting quarterback for at least a game in this season. So
that's a good point.
But BYU, about where I thought they would be. Cincinnati, about where I thought they would be. UCF, about where I thought they would be. I mean, KU overperforming.
I would say so. Because I thought BYU would play a lot better against KU.
I thought Illinois was going to be better into this season than what they were. but
I don't.
they still hammered
never
them.
trust Brett Bielema. I just can't do it. Speaking of Brett Bielema, though, BYU went in and beat Arkansas. Arkansas then only lost to LSU by 3 points. What is Arkansas? I don't know. You can do the fuzzy math and think in your head, okay, BYU played and beat BYU played and beat Arkansas. Arkansas and KU played last year. It was a 3-point game. I don't know. There's some interesting measuring sticks that you can do and look at that stuff. But I don't know, man.
West Virginia, their final 8 games, they play Houston, Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they play TCU this weekend in Fort Worth. Then they're at Houston, Oklahoma State at home, UCF on the road, BYU at home, Oklahoma in Norman, Cincinnati, and Baylor.
But that what you just said is basically what the question Bob just asked. The Big 12 is kind of shit, dude. If you pick 4 teams and just read their schedule off, you're like, shit, they could probably win 90% of them. Because past the 4 teams, it's pretty bad, dude.
It's probably safe to say this season that it is a very top-heavy conference.
The top's not that heavy.
I think we forget that as much as we don't want to think about Texas, they have the best win.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be said right now that Texas has the best non-conference win?
Yep.
Yeah. Clearly.
Indisputably.
And
indubitably.
They will play Oklahoma, they'll play K-State, they play KU. But this the carpet is rolled out for Texas to kind of run through this thing.
I think it's rolled out for OU.
But it might be, but I also
don't know, though.
I
look at what you just
OU.
did for West Virginia. Read
All
it
right.
for Oklahoma.
I'll bring up
and you're going to
Oklahoma
be like,
for
what the fuck is this?
Yeah, Oklahoma has a Charmin soft, horrible schedule, but at the same time, they went into that game in Cincinnati and they mucked around and played with their food basically the whole game. Cincinnati had more than ample opportunity to go in and play that game.
I don't know if they played down to their
competition. Won that game. If Scott Satterfield's play calling isn't dog shit, they win that game.
I don't know if they play down to their competition because they dropped a 70 burger like they're the Miami Dolphins on Arkansas State. So.
Well, no, I'm saying the Cincinnati game. I think they played down to their competition.
Okay,
and a part of me thinks that you're going to see a lot of those games in Big 12 play with them this year because, quite frankly, Texas is obviously the best team they have left on their schedule, and the only other ranked team they have on their schedule is Kansas. I would agree that the Big 12 is kind of not great right now, and it's going to get even worse.
Unfortunately, it's not great.
I'm not going to lie. I look at Iowa State, UCF, KU, the last bedlam ever. West Virginia, maybe potentially. West Virginia might be okay. They might.
When did they get
handled it?
Was that in order?
I think
was that in order that you just read them?
Yeah. It's Iowa State, Texas, UCF, KU, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, BYU, and then they rounded out with TCU.
I need to know what the quarterback situation is in West Virginia, and if they got Garrett Green back, I would agree that that's probably their second toughest game in Morgantown.
Where I'm trying to go with this is I think Cincinnati showed that this team could be beaten if you have a proficient fucking play caller calling plays.
Oklahoma's going to lose at BYU.
I could totally see that happen. I could see UCF coming into Norman.
Well, put that on fucking Matt's locks for week 13, motherfucker.
And the alleged John Rice Plumlee return will be in Norman.
Yes. I say UCF beats Oklahoma on October 21st.
So he goes 10-2.
If I'm just looking at the stats, that Timmy McClain dude throws the ball a hell of a lot better than John Rice Plumlee.
He was pretty good. He was dropping. He was a good. I feel like he's a good. Well-rounded quarterback. You give him a couple years, you may look back on him as being a better quarterback than John Rice.
Once you started getting pressure to him, oh my God, it would be like if I was playing quarterback back there and fucking Uso Seumalo is running at me at full speed. I'm sorry. I think I felt he was a serviceable quarterback. Yes. Mm-hmm. But the John Rice Plumlee, he's a very good player. And UCF has the capability, I think, if he returns, I could totally see them running through their final 6 games and going 5-1.
Really?
I really could.
They're talented.
They're
talented. Their O-line needs a lot of help.
Their final 5 games are West Virginia, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Houston.
We didn't bring up Texas Tech at all in that. What do we think of Texas Tech? Because, I mean, they had a really hard – Wyoming snuck up and got them, right? We can all agree that was a tight game, and they snuck up and got them. Nobody expected them to beat Oregon. I didn't. And then they get a win, and then they lose in Morgantown, right? It was in Morgantown, or was it?
It was in Morgantown.
They lose in Morgantown and Shuck. I didn't want to say it on the last podcast that's going to be coming out earlier this week. That Shuck is a glass boy. He is.
Yeah. I said that to you guys, I think.
I know, but I just didn't want to say it on that one. He's a glass boy, and he unfortunately he'll never get over that. And so, what does Tech do at quarterback? If it gets worse, that could be the worst dark horse pick of all time.
Because Baron Morton's a quarterback now, right? But that's who Texas Tech fans have said.
They wanted, but he's a turnover machine.
Yeah. I'm not sold on him. I mean, is Texas Tech the best 1-3 team in the country?
Oh God. Don't do that to me.
All right, Bruce Weber.
Let me start throwing out bamboo tree analogies. We're gonna grow 2 feet in a year after growing 2 inches in 5 years. All right. Well, let's get in. I mean, Chef, you're missing a little bit of a tire heading into our week 4 locks. Want to help out the audience here and provide us with your accessory? Andre's locks. You're due for a shave too.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
I'm
not receding.
No, you're not receding.
But it's just
what a guy would give to.
We got a question for that later too. That's exciting.
All right. So if you're joining us for the first time, or you've just never listened to this segment or these episodes before, each week we share our locks for 3 Big 12 matchups, 1 national game of the week, and 1 sicko game. We've gotten a lot better at dialing in the national game of the week, I will say that. Yours truly led the way in week 4 with a 3-2 record on the week, putting me at 2nd overall in the standings with an 11-9 record through week 4. Fireball Matt's in 2nd on the week with a 2-3 record. That's your first losing record so far, so you're still on top of the standings with a 13-6-1 record, only to be outdone by Andre's locks, which are once again in last place with a 1-3-1 record last week and an 8-10-2 record overall. You're no longer winning money, Andre. Matt leads the pack, and it's just,
looking like a Cleveland Browns fan.
I will get there. Hey, Cleveland's tough this year.
I know.
Without Deshaun.
Cleveland's looking tough this year, boy.
Oh, who do you look like? You look like a Denver Broncos fan this week.
Yeah, that's better.
But last week we could go through each of those game by game, but I would just say listen to last week's show if you want to hear what our picks were. Bob's locks for week 5. I will kick us off, having received the victory from last week. My Big 12 games. Number 1, I'm going BYU -3 versus Cincinnati. I've got West Virginia +9.5 at TCU. I am feeling a lot better about this West Virginia game and this West Virginia team than I think I could have ever possibly felt coming into the season, knowing where things landed last year with Neil Brown and knowing how that track record has gone over the last few years with him there. But I don't think we've really seen a great test for TCU yet, with the exception of Colorado, and that came down to the wire. I think West Virginia easily covers this. And then KU +18.5 at Texas. I thought this was the stupidest line, and I got it on Sunday when it opened up at 18.5 on FanDuel, and I put real money on this. I would take this to the bank. this KU team looks way better than I could have possibly imagined. So I'm going with KU here. National game of the week. I'm taking Ole Miss plus 1.5 versus LSU. LSU played like shit against what I think is probably a pretty shitty Arkansas team. So I'm taking Ole Miss. I was really bummed that they didn't cover against Alabama, but whatever. Or wait, did they? Did they? No, they didn't. That's okay.
What was it? 24-10. So I guess they pushed.
No, it was like, I thought it was like 9.5. So they didn't. They did not cover. And then Pitt minus 4.5 at Virginia Tech. Pitt has been shitty to date, but Virginia Tech has been worse. I don't think there's any arguing that. Virginia Tech has been horrible.
Shittier.
They just lost to Marshall.
They lost to Marshall. They lost to Old Dominion, Blake Seiler's Old Dominion, bringing that back. And they are 1-3, but they're not the best 1-3 team in the country, like Texas Tech.
Supposedly.
Red Raiders.
Raiders.
Those are my picks. Matt, you're next.
Yeah, for Matt's locks this week, I'm going to go BYU minus 2.5 against Cincinnati. I think BYU, even though they did lose to Kansas this past weekend, they look serviceable. I think better than Cincinnati, so we're just going to go ahead with that. I am going minus 11.5 UCF, hosting Baylor at home for their first Big 12 game at home. And then I'm taking plus 18 because I can't steal your 18.5, but plus 18 would have been at some point, right? That's how it works. KU at Texas. I do think it'll be a little bit of a shootout. Texas will kind of expand on that lead in the fourth quarter and end up with a win. Pains me to say. But national game of the week. If you would have picked this game as to be a national game of the week in week 1 prior to this team beating Clemson, you would have probably laughed. But Duke is a 5.5 point underdog at home against Notre Dame. Riley Leonard is going to lead the Blue Devils to a victory.
I like this pick a lot.
Thank you. Didn't see that on Andre's locks. And then the sicko game of the week, I'm going Boston College, 3-point favorite over the 0-4 Virginia Cavaliers.
Yeah. I do need to issue a quick correction. Virginia Tech did beat Old Dominion, but they've lost to Rutgers, Purdue, and Marshall.
What a trio.
Pretty bad.
I'll say this. You two need to get a freaking room. I mean, first of all, you're complimenting each other's picks before they even happen. And then you guys pick the exact same games. Like, get a freaking room, you two.
We had 2 of the same games out of the 5.
You guys are conspiring against me. I hope they fail and fall flat on their face, and you're wearing this bag next week.
You guys did the same thing last week, and you still lost. Remember that.
You can pick better.
Yell your picks through that paper bag.
I'm dying in here. I can't breathe, and I don't want to keep doing this.
These better be good picks then, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you this. I picked all road dogs in the Big 12. So I don't know how well this is going to do for me, but this is a home run contest, and I'm swinging for the fences. So let's go Houston plus 8 at Tech. Probably the worst team in the Big 12, but Tech's trying to get over Tyler Shuck's injury. I could see this one falling flat on their faces. Houston plus 8. Iowa State plus 20 at OU. Joey, Bob, you just freaking told us that OU was fraudulent, and they're giving 20 points to a team that's 1-0 in the Big 12?
I didn't pick either of these teams.
Well, good thing I did, because Iowa State plus 20 at OU. Let's go. And then I'm going to give you guys Matt a little taste of his own medicine. I'm going the opposite way. Baylor getting, they're getting, what's our boy? We just said his name. I don't even remember his name. It doesn't matter.
Timmy McClain or Blake Shapen.
Blake Shapen's returning back for Baylor, and he's got to go to the bounce house. That's fine. 11.5 points? There's no way UCF doesn't cover that. Baylor plus 11.5. My national game, Utah dogs at Oregon State. That's crazy town. I mean, I know they're down their quarterback, but they're just winning. That's all they do. I would take this on the money line versus Oregon State. But they're plus 3.5. So give me those points. Let's go, baby. And then my sicko game, Navy only minus 4 points at USF. Man, fuck those Bulls. Or I guess UCF fans call them cows, which is really funny. But I think Navy just runs them into the dirt. Give me Navy minus the 4 points. Let's go.
The USF team that almost beat Nick Saban's Alabama team without Jalen Milroe, who's objectively the best quarterback.
I would take this game. Realistically, I would take this game if I'm putting money on it. I would take this game the under in points because if you watch that USF game versus Alabama, all they do is run that quarterback and throw. I mean, they throw go routes and run the quarterback. That's all they do. Going against Navy, that shit. This game might only last an hour and 30 minutes.
First team to 4 wins.
Can they even score?
And Navy doesn't cover.
That's a push.
It's 4-2 or 4-3.
I will say I did not see that line for Utah Oregon State. That is incredibly intriguing.
That's
okay.
Nuts.
Right.
For me, I mean, it's betting. Why?
Okay.
I
Give
actually,
us your perspective then.
I actually believe so. I think Washington State's for real. I think
they are. Yeah.
They are.
And Oregon State went into the Palouse last week. I mean, I think DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, thank God we don't. If he was our quarterback and we had to pronounce that name every week on the show,
can't even pronounce Kleiman without adding an extra S.
Oh, Kleinman. I think I think Oregon State is a team that is extremely well coached, very similar to K-State, very, very similar. And I was debating about picking this game, and I was actually going to have Oregon State cover the 3.5 because if Utah does not have Cam Rising in this game,
they won't.
I think Oregon State's winning this by like 10 to 14 points. I really do.
I just don't see it. I think if your whole reason that you're picking Oregon State is because they're well coached, I think you might want to look at what Utah is because
I'm not saying that
Utah's
not.
Have you heard of a guy named Kyle?
I'm not saying Utah's not a well coached team, but Jonathan Smith has proven in these games that he has the capability to outcoach another excellent coach, and it's a game at home. And I think Oregon State is top 3 team in the Pac-12 by the end of the season.
Okay, I was about to say because they're literally 0-1
again. Thank God we got 8 more games to play. I think they're a top 3 team in the Pac-12 by the end of the season. I think it's going to be USC, it's going to be Oregon, and I think it's going to be Oregon State.
Wow,
there we go.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing like both of those teams that played this weekend, Washington State and Oregon State. They're playing with that same fire that I think a lot of the teams in the Big 12 played with after Texas and OU decided to leave. And I mean, yeah, we shored up the conference by adding these 4 new teams, but at the same time, like we didn't know what this year was going to look like. We didn't know USC and UCLA were going to be leaving and that all this other, calamity is happening to college football. And so I think the last couple of years until this year, for whatever freaking reason, this year, everybody looks like shit in some regard in the Big 12. The last 2 years prior to that, everybody looked great. And it was a ton of parity. And I think Oregon State and Washington State are playing with that same fire because they're like, we don't want to get fucking left out.
Yeah, I agree. And the last thing I'll say is because Chef is so against this, just remember who's been wearing that paper bag on their head the past 2 weeks and playing this game.
Well, I'm telling you what, history does repeat itself, but it's only repeating itself this one time because I guarantee I'm not wearing this bag this week. One of you two are. You guys. Oh, I'm muted. You guys are in bed together on your picks. You guys are making
collusion.
It's collusion at its highest. I mean, this is like voter fraud. This is like voting machines in the Gore election. This is what I'm having to deal with.
If you want, I can take a screenshot of my picks from Sunday when I picked them, and I had them picked prior to this outline ever even being created.
And it's got a Matt text right next to it, like, oh, let's do this.
Oh, if only we were smart enough to be able to collude against you, but
It's okay.
alas, neither of us are. Matt, let's have you introduce the next section, the next segment, because really it was your idea to bring this to the table, even though it is an old segment that we're renewing with a very different name in some ways.
No, it's not a new segment or a new name.
It's
a segment. Well, obviously, in the recent news, we've heard that Travis Kelce may be canoodling with a famous musician, or at least going to dinner with her, whatever. Could be a publicity stunt. But anyway, Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce do have an excellent podcast called New Heights. If you haven't listened to it, it's very entertaining. But anyway, they do have a segment, which I embrace, called No Dumb Questions. Just dumb answers or people.
Just dumb people.
Dumb people, which we've got plenty of that in this room here today. So I felt, especially with the bye week, it might be a good opportunity to not just talk about dumb football questions or anything like that, but really anything that strikes the fancy of our Cocaine Willie fans. And so we've gotten some great questions from many people, and we're just going to go through and we're going to give our best answer that we have for these questions. I don't know if Chef, do you want to start? No, you don't, because you're on mute.
I couldn't find my mouse.
5 stars, Chef.
3
Michelin stars. Sorry, you're a chef.
Yeah. Apparently, with one of these questions, that's getting doubted. Allison Renner, first one up. I mean, you guys were great on a UCF pod. I thought that was excellent listening.
Killer job.
Thank you.
It's timeless. You can listen to that right now and it'd still be great. She asked, what's everyone's favorite cereal? This could get a little spicy because I'm very, very adamant on what mine is.
Oh my God.
So
I guess I go first then?
Go first.
Yeah.
For me, it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That is the elite of the elite cereals. It's sugary. It's distinct flavor. Like people are really snobby about what their milk flavor is after their bowl of cereal, and cinnamon mapley flavored milk is undeniably number one. So for me, it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch and then everybody else.
Golden Grams. It's Golden Grams. I like that honey flavor, the same flavor that you get. It's just honey instead.
Yeah,
it's so good.
They were serving that at Capon every morning, weren't they? Or Bishop, where'd you go? Bishop Carroll, Capon. You went to Capon.
Yes.
Golden Grams.
That's such that's a boomer cereal.
Dude, they're so good. They're so good.
Okay,
you
boomer.
Can't deny that.
You might as well say Crispix or Chex.
Raisin Bran?
Raisin Bran.
Cornflakes with no sugar.
Let me get my grape nuts ready for.
Fuck you. What's your answer, Matt?
So I'm not going to put the same answer as Chef because it was a 1 and 1A or 1A, 1B. So I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but Peanut Butter Crunch. It's like Captain Crunch, but it's Peanut Butter Crunch. Okay.
I know.
So my dad.
Is that fucking like a Kroger brand cereal?
No. It sure was not. No,
that's elite of the elite.
It's in a orange box. But growing up,
Peanut Butter Crunch
sounds like it comes in a plastic bag.
No, you're gonna buy this at the grocery store, I swear. So growing up, my dad loves cereal, loves Peanut Butter Crunch. Now I am somebody that I don't like the taste of milk unless it's chocolate milk. So for my cereal, if I ever eat cereal, I have to eat cereal with chocolate milk.
I just had this question the other day on my Twitter. I mean, I put the poll up because I was eating Reese's what is that cereal
Reese's
called? Reese's
Puffs.
Puffs.
Reese's
Reese's Puffs cereal.
Those are
I don't know.
solid.
I don't know why I had a brain fart, but I ate them with chocolate milk, and it almost changed my life, dude. I almost cried, and I don't want to say that I'm not even gonna say it, but
That you agree with me, or
no, I was gonna say I climaxed, but it's all right.
oh. Okay. Well, so if you think of Reese's Puffs and the peanut butter in that, peanut butter crunch is just the peanut butter portion of that, and it's fantastic.
Okay, I could get down with that. I just the name of the cereal, it's not like a catchy name, and there's not like a cartoon character that I'm thinking of from a
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. He is the mascot.
Oh.
So you think of Captain Crunch, the little square pillowy looking ones, but
Yeah,
just
yeah,
add
yeah,
peanut butter
yeah,
flavor
yeah.
to it.
Okay,
And they're
no.
circular.
No, I know what you're talking about now. God, I haven't watched Nickelodeon in a while.
That wasn't a cartoon.
Yes, freaking Captain Crunch.
He was a commercial.
It was a commercial. He doesn't have his own show. This ain't SpongeBob
I'm not saying he
SquarePants.
has his own show. That's where you see all the stupid cereal ads.
Next. Okay, go. Next question. Bob.
Okay, Casey Doyle @_the Doyle. What is the best chain to get a sub sandwich at? His suggestions are Subway, Good Sense, Planet Sub, Firehouse, or Which. Give your answer. I'm gonna noodle on it for a little bit because I might have a specific answer.
I really like Jersey Mike's. They got the juice. You know, they and they throw that juice on there. Man, that's fire stuff. I don't want to take anybody else's answer, but Jimmy John's, that's really good. A thin sub. I get the what is it? It's the vegetable one. It's got avocado schmear, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. I mean, it's just that's good stuff.
What,
that's
like
good
the
eating.
Slim Witch or whatever?
Yeah, it's not a Slim Witch. I guess it's on the Slim Witch menu. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm going to go with a little bit of a different answer, but this is a chain because I just looked it up on Wikipedia. They have 112 company-owned locations. Capriotti's. And what they're known for is the Bobby, which is a Thanksgiving sandwich. So turkey, stuffing, cranberry.
Oh, that's an ode to the Friends character then.
Maybe.
You didn't watch Friends?
No, I did watch Friends. I don't remember that.
Okay, he made that.
Not as good as Seinfeld. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Okay. But the Bobby was voted the greatest sandwich in America in 2009 by AOL.com. Rest in peace.
He just brought him back from the dead.
Receipts from 1998.
like a Friends episode.
Oh, yes. So I ate a lot of Good Sense in college, and I ate a lot of Good Sense growing up. I also ate a lot of Planet Sub growing up. And when I lived in Austin, there was a Planet Sub that was like a block away. And it's not there anymore, I don't think. I think Planet Sub is downsized significantly. They outgrew themselves way too quickly, downsized a ton, shut down a ton of locations. But I'll say 1A, 1B, Good Sense and Planet Sub. Good Sense. Find a friend who is a sandwich artist at Good Sense if you're in college in Manhattan. They will give you half price subs or whatever. And shout out to James Schmidt, Delta Sig. He gave us so many free subs or half price subs while we were in Manhattan. It was great. And then Planet Sub, they have I'm a huge sucker for hot sandwiches. I love hot sandwiches. And there's a thing to be said for a cold sandwich, the right time of the place. Like I love an Italian sub. I love like a BLT if you want to consider that a cold sandwich. But Planet Sub had a buffalo chicken sandwich that was it was like the most insane thing on the planet. It was the best hangover cure. I would go there midday at work in Austin, Texas on like a random day that I was hungover. I'd grab a Boulevard Wheat because it was the only place that served Boulevard Wheat in the entire city of Austin because it's a Kansas City chain. And I would get that buffalo chicken sandwich and it would cure all. It was the greatest thing. So I'm giving 1A, 1B.
That just brought back some memes. The Planet Sub right on.
We
Congress
met
there.
up there a couple of times, some hungover mornings.
Wow, that brought up some good memes. Let me
And they
tell
had
ya.
Boulevard Wheat, which was awesome.
Yeah, it's beer.
I
No, I'm
can't get
kidding.
it anywhere out here.
Some people will hate me after that. All right, Russ
Russ.
at Russ Bukavist. Russ is a great friend of mine. I've known him since freshman year of college, counting down the seconds for every second I've known him. But anyway, I want Matt to list every team he's a fan of and how he got there. All right. Well, I'll start with this. So I'm a big Boston sports guy. So my great grandfather played for the Red Sox on my mom's side, and so I'm a huge Red Sox fan. With that, big Celtics fan, big Bruins fan, but I hate the Pats. I grew up kind of liking the Atlanta Falcons because of Michael Vick. Through their downfall, those years where they were playing Joey Harrington at quarterback. Then Matt Ryan came in and lost the Super Bowl 28-3. I have officially this year renounced the Atlanta Falcons because they suck, and I never went to a game yet. Oh my God.
What's up?
Oh no. I'm answering the question.
I know, I heard.
I'm explaining why I've renounced the Atlanta Falcons because I haven't gone to a game and they suck. And then I've lived in Kansas City long enough that I would become a Chiefs fan, which sounds bandwagony.
I can't wait until you have this same conversation explaining why you're a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I hate I don't like the Cowboys at all. I don't like. Yeah, look at you Iowa-looking motherfucker.
Bitch, I'm wearing a Cats polo.
Oh, I'm surprised. Wearing it out for the show today. Really impressed.
Sorry I just got here. I know you guys were waiting for me the whole time. Did we talk about Iowa yet?
No, that's actually my next question. At Matt Marchesini to Russell Buchanan, why is Iowa football the way they are?
I don't know, man. They just I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I had my second 12-hour day in a row today. I'm trying to be funny, but I don't think it's gonna come out, which is much like Iowa's offense. You know, they're really, really trying because at the end of the day, an Iowan is always optimistic. And so they really do believe that they're going to turn it around someday. But the problem is in Iowa, nothing ever changes. So we're just going to keep doing this forever. They're not going to fire Brian Ferentz. It's Kirk's boy. He'll never leave. So I've just accepted it. And any Iowa fan that hasn't is fooling themselves. At least we're not Iowa State, though.
At least you're not Iowa State. Oh, man.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Worse tap water, slightly better football.
Hey, they got the #1 bridge in the Big 12, though.
I don't know, man. I like Baylor's quite a bit, too. That's the nicest thing I will ever say about Baylor.
Oh. Yeah. Russell is also a big Art Briles truther, so.
No.
Yeah, what did you think about him being on the sideline, Russ?
Yeah.
In Oklahoma.
Oh, please don't slander me like that. No, but you know I'm a Joe Paterno guy through and through, so.
That's funny. We actually have a Penn State question that we can bring up right now. So my buddy Steve Skojic, who I work with, huge Penn State guy, attended Penn State. What are Penn State's chances to win the Big Ten and go to the college football playoff? 0.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's 0. I think they're a lot better than, I mean, they're closer to Ohio State and Michigan than they were in the past few years. I mean, Ohio State's offense doesn't really do much for me, and Michigan, McCaffrey is throwing picks left and right. If they had any competition to go up against, they might find some trouble. But well, they all got to meet on the field, so I'm not giving it 0.
Here's the thing. Iowa's going to win that division anyway because it is genuinely the worst division in college football. And so they're going to Indianapolis, which Penn State has a decent chance to get there. and nobody beats Brian Ferentz 31-0 twice. So Iowa to the playoff, baby.
Because the next game's 45-0.
Nah, man, eventually they're going to give up and put Caitlin Clark in at quarterback, and then we're going to find out that, she can do everything, dog. I don't know. Because Cade McNamara is not working.
Russell, it was awesome having you join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to go. If you can't tell, I'm in a bar. It's been a long day. So
no, we're going to let you go, but it was awesome to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks for texting me, Joey. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
God damn it.
I had to do it.
Killed him.
All right. The next question that we have is from Purple Hazen at Hazen Short. Another brother. Just, shout out to the Delta Sigs. Why doesn't at Chef Andre Napier use more cooking terms for his recipes for success? Pressure for UCF? How about pressure cook the quarterback? Come on, man. It's right there.
Those layups I should be hitting 100% of the time. I don't know what. Well, maybe I'm overthinking it. I just I could bring out a lot of cooking terms, and I gotta just be better for the fans, man. The cokeheads deserve better, and I haven't been delivering. So from here on out, after this idle week, I will bring better cooking vernacular.
Yeah, because
I might even speak a little Spanish for you guys, just so that's all you hear in them kitchens. Boy, ben aquí, baby.
Oh my God. Because what I was gonna say is maybe we should just call you the mailman. You could be the mailman, like Karl Malone.
I thought, oh God, that's touchy right there, boy. He's impregnating 9-year-olds and stuff, so it's tough out here. Or she might have been 13.
I mean, yeah, that's not too far off. For being real.
And please don't say
14? Or was she younger?
I think she was 9.
I thought she was like 12 or 13.
This is
either way, really bad.
Getting dark. It's getting dark.
I hate Karl Malone should not have any kind of positive publicity anywhere.
But I thought about changing my name from Chef to Mailman Dre on Twitter, but I asked that first question on Bosco's Boys, and he called me Chef, and I just could never get away from it.
Yeah.
It's fair.
So I'm Chef now.
Just got to stick with it. I took one shot of Fireball once, and everybody called me that. And sure. I got called Pitbull once, and when Fireball was on, and I got
you do look like Pitbull.
Yeah, I do. Thank you, Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Speaking of Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Worldwide's mother, Debbie, posted a question.
Shout out to Mama Matt.
Shout out to Mama Matt. How many games will Avery Johnson play this year? This is a very interesting question.
I for sure thought he was playing versus UCF. So that one took one off of the board. I thought that was an obvious one, and it just didn't happen. So what does that say the plan is for the old Avery?
I think he's going to play 4. I think he's going to only
Where's he at now? What's he at, 2?
He's at 2.
2. Wait, did he play it? Oh, he didn't play during Troy, right? Yeah. He's going to play 4 games.
What are the other 2 then?
Oklahoma State.
For the Sunflower Showdown?
You think he's going to play? He's going to be a road boy.
Because I think we're going to be up in that game a lot.
I don't think we're going to use him for mop-up duty. I think
you don't think so?
No, I think he's an effective weapon. I think the only reason he was in mop-up duty versus SEMO is because they had to get him. They wanted to get him some live bullets so he knows what he's going to see throughout the season.
I'm just wondering if, from a learning perspective, let's say we're up 28 in the fourth quarter in Oklahoma State. It's a road game, road environment. You don't throw him in there?
Would I? I'd play him every game. I mean, this isn't me. What do I think's going to happen? I think we're seeing Rubes. Okay. Absolutely. If we're up 28 on Oklahoma State, that's another Super Bowl. That's another Super Bowl we got to contend with. I don't. We're not getting to predictions.
We're not getting Oklahoma State yet.
We're
I'm
not
just
getting
saying.
not
Oklahoma
yet.
State vibes in, but that's another Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
prepare your brains.
Yeah. It's almost an identical situation. Like we hung up as many points as we did on them last year, shut them out. Missouri, same thing. Like
on the road.
hadn't thought
I
about
think that line.
Friday Night Lights.
If I had to put a number on that line, I think 6.5.
Well, as we all know, you're great at picking lines.
Yeah.
Great at picking.
Great
great
at
at
picking
picking
lines.
against
Well,
the spread.
I told you what that UCF line was going to go down to. It opened at 8. I was like, "There's no in." We could go to the YouTube and just clip Matt and be like, "No."
No. Why do I sound like a Bond villain?
Well, to answer your mother's question, I think we see him in 4 games. I think we max him out and get the red shirt, keep it preserved. I think we'll probably see Rubley in a mop-up duty situation more than likely at this point, knowing that we were probably going to play Avery if Will was going to be hurt enough not to play the game on Saturday. I feel like this kind of changes things with how Saturday shook out and Will being good enough to go. If Will gets totally and completely injured, God forbid that ever happening, similar to like Skylar Thompson in that, similar situation where Will Howard came in and then had to start the rest of the season. Like, I think we see Avery just because he's probably the better of the two.
Yep.
But we're not going to burn that red shirt unless we have to. I think at this point in the season, I would have said a completely different answer a week ago.
So the consensus is 4. I think 4 as well.
Yep.
4.
4.
All right. So now we got my boy Will the Thrill at Will
Guy.
_ KSU. He's got a bevy of them, and these are what I'm looking for. I like this stuff right here. What color socks do all the hosts wear? Oh, look at those calves.
White socks, huh?
Look at those calves. I'm not gonna put my bare feet up on because I have a.
You're not?
I have a foot finders that you got to pay for, so you're not gonna. You're not gonna give me
Delta 6 Secretary elect right here.
Woo! Look at those legs. Look at those calves, baby. I don't wear a lot of socks when I get inside, but if I had to, no. But if I'm at work or I'm outside, it's usually white or black. Mostly black because black is
socks.
beautiful.
Like black socks.
Do you prefer shaver or razor?
Are we talking face or head?
I've never shaved my beard once, so
Never.
I've trimmed it.
Oh,
but I've never gone smooth.
I went a little short this recent shaving encounter. I did a 1 centimeter or a millimeter instead of a 2, and that made a pretty. It looks like I don't have one, which is very weird.
Still cute though.
Thank you. I have 3 electric razors that I use to shave my head.
I'm never putting a razor on my head. That shit is not happening.
Hair trimmers. I have a Phillips body groom that I dig into the head with, and then I have a 3 circular shaver, and that's how I get my head so shiny.
Huh.
Look at that.
Huh. So I have
Bob nares his head.
No, not quite. I've got like a 4-blade razor shave, like electric shaver thing that I use to get it like as close as I can, but it never gets it as close as I want it to be. So I use Harry's, and I've got the shaving cream, and I do the whole thing.
Wow.
I did it this morning. It's nice and shiny.
Wait, that's the shaving cream stuff?
Yeah, dude.
Max Troster, shout out to Max Troster. He told me I should use shaving this cream, like Nair, and I just got very nervous about it, putting it on my head.
Dude, I just use like
use it on other parts of your
shaving
body
cream that you would use on your face.
No, but there's like a Nair for people who are bald. It's like a bald people Nair.
Oh, so it's like reverse Rogaine.
Exactly. Reverse Rogan. And he told me about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy it on Amazon. And it's been in my drawer for about a year and a half because I'm like, if I mess this up, I'm not gonna look good.
No, that scares me.
Yeah.
I would
Impossible, by the way.
not touch that.
Mm.
Not touch that stuff. Matt. So what does at Matt Marchesini spend a year on Fireball?
That's a dangerous question.
Look at his eyes.
Because you just never know who's in town and you got to buy a shot of Fireball for. You know, what grinds my gears is these bars that are like, oh yeah, a shot of Fireball, $15 a piece. Like, does that come with fucking...
Where are you going?
Anywhere. No. Where was the last thing? I swear it was actually down here in Dallas, but now I can't remember. But it was like $15 a piece. And I bought 4. I'm like, well, thank God I've already had like 4 drinks, so I'm not sober for this transaction. But you know, it's not like I spend my entire wealth on Fireball because that would make me probably an alcoholic, right? So $150? Is that, I don't know.
A year?
Maybe. Like, because
you're doing way more than that.
Probably a liter of it's like $32.
I mean, you're doing okay. Let's do some math.
5 shots.
Or you do it. Think about
you buy the liter and then you spread the shots out. Like you're giving out shots. You're not just drinking the whole thing.
But he still bought it. Listen. You bought it. You got 12 games of football. You're probably going through a half a liter every game.
On his own? Amongst
this is an intervention if I've ever heard one.
Amongst the people, $150 on anything in a year that's not a lot.
Nothing,
so
yeah. So
I think you're probably spending about $500 for sure.
I think I spent $3 on that little shooter that I bought this weekend, and that thing fucked me up for the rest of the night.
What?
Oh, yes. Imagine doing like 5 of those, and then
it's because I had been drinking all day and started with mimosas, and then went to beers, and then went to the Fireball, and the cats. Boy. You told me I needed to take the shot, and you called me an imbecile for not doing it.
That's the golf course. Obviously, birdie juice. That's what everybody uses for birdie juice, and I mean, I have like 5 or 6 of those on a round. So
you're buying
single round.
No way.
Yes,
dude, I think I have 6 beers an entire round, 18 holes.
Yeah, a round
like 6 Coors Lights, not 6 Fireball shots.
Fireball's nothing. That's like a strong 6% beer.
It's not that. It's you stating, "Oh, I have 6 Fireball birdie shots around my ass." There's no way.
You don't think I'm dropping 6 birdies in a round?
No, I don't, and I respect you a lot, but no, I don't.
Okay.
Because if you were, we would be hearing a lot more about it.
Dude, all right. I'm not even going to go down this road with you guys. I'm not going to argue with you.
The woods are full of long hitters. The next question is for you, Chef. What does Chef Andre Napier use as a vehicle for his day job? Do you have one of those like nice electric powered mail trucks?
We haven't got the electrics yet. I'm driving a 2011 Dodge Ram minivan. Sir. It's basically like a Town and Country, but I don't know what the Dodge version of them is.
Grand Caravan.
That's what I'm driving.
I know that. It's sad. I know that.
Because I don't really drive the mail. I drive to a park point and I walk. So I guess my feet.
My mailman drives that. He has one of those. But
he walks to your front door and then
he walks to my front door.
You give him a little kiss. You always give your mailman a little kiss.
Oh, is that where Karl Malone got his nickname from?
I'll shoot you the video and you guys will understand.
I always, you know what, if I ever see him, I'm like, you want a water? You want a Gatorade? And he's like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm like, okay. I'm a nice guy. Bob. What does Bob Trollsby plan to add to his man cave next?
Well, I'm at a pretty good stopping point now that I have the Cocaine Willie behind me. And I got this old school ashtray that arrived after this question was asked. So technically it would be this. It looks like a little skillet. It's kind of
An
cool.
ashtray for your smoking.
Yeah, because we all know.
Smoking the blunts, baby.
Puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff, pass.
Nothing.
He's in Colorado. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Zeus at Thunderclap 8008. Best name on the current K-State football team. And best all-time K-State athlete names.
Oh, the
Best all time, Alasana.
Yeah, that's a classic.
I'm gonna
best
say,
on the team right now is Kobe Savage.
Yeah, Kobe Savage is a really good one.
Savage for a defensive player, elite, and then Kobe. Shout out to Mamba. Let's go.
All time. What about Good News Kapingle?
Passigno or whatever.
Yeah, good news. That's
another Bruce Weber.
Or no, I'm thinking Tano Passigno from the Chiefs. What was Good News' last name?
It was
Kapingle.
KS. It's KP something. Yeah,
Good News.
Kapangle.
Kapajal.
That was an elite name.
Wait, he's at Valparaiso. Oh no, he's not. He's old. Never mind. Sorry.
How about Drew Schmelzy?
Who? Is he on the team right now?
Yeah. Number 49, defensive end, 6'4", 227 from Sabetha, Kansas. Drew Schmelzel.
Hold on. Did you guys see that?
Leighton Simmering is a good name too, by the way. That's Simmering. That's pretty
cool.
Simmer on that for a little bit.
Chef, there we go.
Oh, simmer. Let's simmer down now. Okay, simmer that pot.
Stuffle bean.
Did you guys see the NIL thing with Iowa State, where is purchase more ham and bacon?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I thought that was pretty. As much as I hate Iowa State and those goofy fucks, but that was pretty good.
I'll give them that.
What do we got now? Steve.
No. We answered that.
We already did the Penn State one.
He doesn't deserve another name.
How do you pronounce this last name? Tyler Maneth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my cousin, maybe.
Let's go. Shout out to the fam.
Shout out to the fam.
Why can others run the flea flicker, but we can't?
I fucking hate this question, and he's gonna laugh when he hears me with that response because I have tickets with Tyler Maness for these games, and he will consistently bring up how we don't do a flea flicker and it will work. And then when we see some team that does it in another game, he'll text and be like, the flea flicker worked in blah, blah, blah game. Well, of course, he has to go to this game and the flea flicker works and they score a touchdown. So annoying.
I think trick plays. I have a rule when I watch games. If you're running trick plays in the first quarter or the first 5 minutes of a game or in your first two possessions, you're automatically going to lose because you've already fired all the bullets out. You gave up. You knew that you didn't have a chance. So trick plays are kind of no good in my book.
I think the flea flicker, why it doesn't work for us and why trick plays don't work for us is the same reason why we can't wear alternate uniforms. It's just cursed. It's just fucking cursed. It's never going to happen. Quit dreaming. Move on. Move on.
Oh, so sad. Oh. We had a trick play in the fucking SEMO game, didn't we? Or was it Troy?
Yeah, it was SEMO. I mean, we running back pass out to Will Howard, but that's late in the game. We put the foot down on him. I think trick plays are just kind of cheesy. I don't know. Run your offense, you fucking pussies.
Yeah, we're down in Austin on November 4th, and in the fourth quarter, we're down by 3, and Will Howard Colin Klein puts together this double flea flicker, and we score a touchdown to win the game. You think
and then it'll be great. It'll be great. It always made sense.
All the tides turn.
Yeah.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Well, speaking of, same kind of my response here. Tyler's wife Shelby asks, "Why don't we have lavender in football?"
I don't know if it would look good, to be honest. I mean, as much as I love lavender in basketball, this is going to sound wrong. It's a softer sport.
Oh my God, yeah, it does sound wrong, but okay.
Go ahead.
It's a softer sport, and I mean, if you got a bunch of, you got 22 guys out there on the field, 11 of them are wearing like lavender pants, like it just won't fly for me. It just won't look good on our uniforms.
Naquan Tomlin would easily kick your ass.
Oh, he probably knows Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I think about this, like we've got the lavender piping on the basketball jersey. I feel like the script Wildcats is a really good model for how you can incorporate it without it being the thing. Like have it as some piping on a jersey and maybe do like, you can do a script if you want to. You don't even have to do a script, like replace the gray with a lavender and see what happens.
I think it's just
do white
broader. And now you're asking for it. That's cursed. It's like from far away,
cursed, but
that's
how
lavender
you
looks gray. The lavender looks gray from here.
Yeah, if you're colorblind like me.
That lavender looks lavender. What if it was black and lavender?
Ooh,
What if we just killed two birds with one stone and go black and lavender?
Dude, this isn't 2009. We don't need black uniforms.
I'm not saying. Now, let's think about this. So, big game grays. K-State women's basketball has big game grays this year. Should they make a return to the men's team?
Absolutely. No doubt.
I don't think we need them.
You're flying. Hold on. No. When do we go to KU?
February 5th. No.
We're
playing. The Big Monday game is in Manhattan.
Yeah, Big Monday's game in Manhattan.
And then we go to KU in the last game of the season or the second
to last.
Yeah. March 5th. Yeah.
Which, as an aside, ending conference play with 2 rivalry games in basketball back to back. Do it every year. Why have we not done this before? We do it in football.
It's hot.
That schedule's looking saucy.
I loved it.
Are you guys going to hang out with me in Cincinnati when the Cats go on the road to Cincinnati?
If you buy my flight,
sure,
I'll figure it out.
Sure. It depends on when it is. I just
think it's like the third game of the season.
Just paid for a flight to get a KU. Going back on this.
So I'm not going out to KU, even though I would like.
No. I'm just talking about me. Dream was wearing a black with Wildcat script. What if we pull out a black with lavender Wildcat script?
I love it.
I don't know.
That sounds great.
Nike.
So it'd be white. It'd be white script with lavender around it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it sounds great.
You guys have to sell me on this. I need mock-ups. I don't know.
Hit up Stanimal.
We need to fully move to the script for basketball. I'm convinced.
Yes, 1,000% yes.
We don't need K-State. We don't need the K-State piece.
You don't think so?
I think we should fully move to the Wildcat script for basketball.
So we'll always just be Wildcats.
Yes,
we'll never
women's basketball.
Yes.
Come up with a script with that K-State in it.
Dude, think about it. We've worn this uniform so much in our history through so many great years. You think about the 70s and the 80s. You think about freaking Rolando Blackman and all these guys that played on those teams back then. Lon Kruger. We beat the Soviets in this uniform. Like, come on, man. Give me a break. This needs to be the primary uniform. Think about all the teams in college basketball that are like blue blood teams that lean into their history and have their like old school uniform like this. Like think about Duke and some of those other schools, North Carolina. Oh man.
Duke's uniforms are the plainest things on the planet. Kentucky changes their uniforms.
It's a classic look, dude.
I don't know. Oh, no. You're not. It's going to take a lot to get me on board for that one. So we're all lavenders. Our away uniforms all the time.
No, so it'd be white and lavender. We would do at home, and then you would have a dark, like a purple, with the script, with white script. purple with white script. Hear me out.
On the road.
On the road, and black with white and lavender script.
So we're getting rid of all lavenders. We're getting rid of the two tones.
No, he said you'd wear that.
No. Yeah.
Sometimes.
If that's a retro thing. Like, that's a good Kansas State opportunity.
But you want the script cat as the base uniforms. It's no longer retro. We are wearing our retro uniforms.
Looks great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
No doubt. But that isn't, I don't know. It's just the retro uniform. So would our retro uniforms be the block K-State with the high
Sign me the fuck up on that.
Okay.
Block K.
I'm just saying, listen to the Bosco's Boys Around the Horn episode, because I had an answer on this, but it was actually because one of the other guys already answered with the script cats. I had this whole thing written out for it. I'm like, I'm gonna talk cat script. I went with the cat scratch as a nice throwback option. Bring back the Beasley pull-in 07, 08.
Yes. There's a lot of opportunity
I like
here.
that too.
They build the
no
brand.
doubt. No doubt. I mean, we've got an elite brand, and there's really no wrong answers other than, purple pants. That's the only bad answer in football.
Yeah. Purple on purple is not going to be executed well. We've got two more questions, which are the same question, but with different people involved. One of which came from my lovely wife. The other of which came from someone else on Twitter, and I need to find who that person is so I can give them the appropriate credit. But I'll ask the question from my wife first. Fuck, marry, kill Avery Johnson, Will Howard, and Colin Klein.
Well, I think we all know the answer to this. Avery is getting fucked. I mean, it just has to be said. That's what's going on here. For me, I'm marrying. I don't know. I'll marry Colin Klein. He's a stable man. He's not young and boisterous. He'll. Damn, it would just be. How would I have to kill Will Howard though? It'd just be so sad to see Will Howard go.
I don't know what to say right now because that was the greatest soundbite we've ever had on the show.
Don't clip me. Please don't clip me. I'm going to get banned from everything. Yeah. I'm not going to be allowed. I'm going to have freaking restraining orders.
Oh, my God.
Well, yeah, I have a slightly different answer than you. I would marry Will Howard and unfortunately kill Colin Klein. I just think Will Howard's a nice, good gentleman, young man. I feel like he could cook you a nice dinner and he'd be a good person to marry. He'd be a good, nice life partner for you. And I think Colin Klein is just, like the Stumo thing, and he's just kind of a little bit of a stick in the mud. So if you look at the three of them together,
that's who you want. That's who you want in a spouse. You don't want this young, handsome fella out there running the streets.
You don't want to be bored. You want to get excited. Will Howard someone makes us all a little excited every.
Will Howard's so handsome he could break your heart. I don't want my heart broken.
Your heart won't get broken with Will Howard.
It definitely won't get broken with Colin Klein.
Matt, your answer?
I don't know where to go from here because. Wow.
If somebody's still listening to this an hour and 13 minutes into this, then they deserve all of these answers.
We know that at least one person will, and it's Will the Thrill. And it's that guy because he listens to every single second of the show. The next one comes from Not Your Father's KSU at KSU Alum 19. Another FMK question, this time with Gene Taylor, Chris Kleiman, and Jerome Tang.
Yeah, Chef, give us a soundbite on this one. Let's go. No, you're just thinking. You're not muting.
Who's getting fucked, Chef?
Yeah,
it's tough. I mean, Jerome Tang's the most attractive of all of them. a brown skinned beauty. So,
you are also on the record as saying Gene Taylor's a hot boy.
He is a hot boy, and he likes to party. So maybe he would fit that more to the mode, and then I can marry Jerome Tang, and we'll go to Bible study and all that stuff, and we'll have a nice church wedding, and then we just kill Chris Kleiman. It's easy.
This is such a terrible game to play.
A long night of freaking pounding Bud Lights into a blacked out stupor.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say. That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Whoa. What did you think?
Gene's got a pool too. Hanging out by the pool, drinking Bud Lights. Who knows? One thing leads to another. Chef's cooking up a nice meal. He's simmering some stuff in the kitchen. Who knows?
Man, I'm really glad Chef answered these first.
You guys are dancing around these questions. Man,
I am.
Hey, I at least gave my answer on the last one.
Yeah,
and I will on this one too.
I'll say, Jerome Tang seems like a great family man. He'd be a good marriage material, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, no. God,
Come on.
help me. I'm just looking at these names and trying to figure out how to get out of this question. I can't.
You can't. You don't want to wake up next to Chris Kleiman in the morning.
What is it about Chris Kleiman that just is like?
God, I could only imagine him being such a grump.
Really?
I think he'd be a grump. Like he would. I wonder how much coffee he drinks.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like an animated guy, but I just like to keep him out of like the darkest grump stage. He has to have like 12 cups of black coffee.
Yeah.
Or be heading into a Big 12 championship game and he's at the press conference and he's getting softball questions.
Yeah. What if this came up during Big 12 media days?
We're never gonna get any kind of.
No, I never said we would. There's no way in hell we would.
I might just post this as an unlisted video, so like only the people who have the link can view this video. I'm just okay. I'm going to
say Chris. I'm going to say Chris Kleiman.
You're gonna what with Chris?
I'm going to wake up next to Chris Kleiman.
Whoa!
My God.
That's a plot twist.
After a long night of Fireball.
Damn. Plot twist. Did not see that coming.
I wanted to be the opposite of Chef. Okay. Just like his locks.
Oh.
Okay, who are you marrying and killing?
No. Oh, I'm marrying Jerome Tang.
And you're killing poor
family
Gene?
Man. I mean... Gene's a nice guy. Gene's a nice guy.
Killing baby Gene?
Baby Gene. Oh my God.
God. I'm gonna give the same answer as
you're gonna blame your wife for this. This podcast gets blacklisted because of your wife.
Regarding Gene. Some Bud Lights, hanging out by the pool, Chef's cooking for us in the kitchen, and one thing leads to another.
Hold on, it's a party. Why am I there?
Why not?
What are we doing?
I mean, you're just cooking. You're not doing anything else. God,
he's pounding some Bud Lights.
I'm killing Kleiman and I'm marrying Tang. I want to get closer to the Lord with Tang after that experience.
The only right answer.
Wow. I feel like I need to be speaking to the Lord right now. What a way to end this damn show.
It was
Can we preface to all of our listeners here that none of us want to kill anybody or marry anybody or
none of the three
or fuck any of them.
Yeah, I at least can blame my wife for posing this question to begin with. So I've got
we're blaming Bob's wife.
But also yeah, like we are on a podcast that has cocaine in the name of it, and we don't endorse
Touche.
drug use, so
Back
whatever.
Back
It is
to
what
our
it is.
roots. This is back to the roots right here, man.
I mean, this is like some OG shit. Anything else? Any final words before we leave people with the bye-week episode and tell people to subscribe to our shit?
No, I think this one covered all bases. I don't think you'll get any kind of coverage like this from any other Kansas State podcast, let alone really any podcast. So just
except for cereal.
cereal.
Yeah. And,
Like
and
not-
I don't does
not
cereal
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
ask questions about cereal and your favorite cereal? I don't know. Be cerealception, but to that end, for all of us here at Cocaine Willie, thank you for listening to the show on your podcast feeds or watching us on YouTube. Do us a favor, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating. Follow the show at Cocaine Willie. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got multiple Mizzou fans who are just commenting MIZ on every single video we have now. And also UCF fans who are like, Dolly Drama brought us here, and I'm staying because I like you guys. We had a Mizzou guy comment like, I'm really enjoying the show, even though I don't like K-State and I don't care, and went ahead and subscribed. So we have content for you, whether you're a K-State fan or not. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, listen to our lock segment if you don't want to hear any of the K-State shit. Give us a like on the video and follow us on Twitter or Instagram. I'm at Bob Trollsby. Fireball Matt's at Matt Marchesini, and the good chef is at Chef Andre Napier. Chef, take us out. Get us out of here.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, baby.
We are all killing Chris Kleiman except for Matt.
I love you, Chris.
Well,
love you, man.
That's right.
Let's ride.
Right.